And then when that happens, what will happen? Right? Will they do it? Will they get the funding needed to do it, or will they just push it off another year? And so there's going to need to be some triage there.
And I think, when I go out and I do, let's say, security awareness training, and I say a word like, oh, how many of you experience smishing? I can't tell you till now, this day and age, some people go, what is that? I don't know what that is.
Idea.
Right.
Yep.
So when you say things like vishing, I've never heard that term. Right. So how can they defend against something that they don't even know exists? Mm-hmm. So I think your point, Michael, is really accurate, is that it is vital for us to start right. This is the basics. Like, get people like all these folks that have joined us today to come in and ask these really hard questions. Like, where do I start? That's an amazing question, in my opinion. Someone coming in here and saying, okay, I'm hearing you. This sounds like impossible. Where do I start? That kind of thought process is going to help that person achieve what he needs to achieve to be secure. But we have to start with the basic conversations first.
Right. And those conversations are both internal and external. How do you eat an elephant? You get help. So from an internal organizational standpoint, when I talk to a CISO at a small and mid-sized company, first thing I ask is, okay, when was the last time you talked to the CFO or the CEO or even your own CIO? Because if the only time you talk to the CEO or the COO is when, the network just collapsed because of it, some sort of a compromise or an attack, that's not the conversation. That's not the lead conversation you want to have. And a lot of times, part of our issue from a human capital standpoint for CISOs is we tend to grow up from the technical side. We don't grow up on the business side so much. We don't have the chops as much, as a group, in terms of executive leadership development that a lot of our peers in those other functional areas get. And that's one of the things we really need to work on from a human capital standpoint. The other side to this, in terms of getting help, in terms of eating the elephant, managed service providers.